Okay, folks, welcome back. The Earthman, the woman's, the woman's lair. Oh man! So back this morning, we're working on all whitey now. All whitey then. All whitey now would be its twin. All right, and we were doing the mesh, which we were not able to finish because we had to go to the salt mines this morning. Salt mine morning. All right, so let's see where we were at. Now we need to cut a little. Well, this one's got a little bit of a funky angle. Cut across this one. It's hot. It's like in the 90s today. But the nights are still cool. It's when the nights are like 82, 83, 85. I can't stand that shit. Highlight of my day these days is coming home and showering. Changing clothes. Alright, we're going to cut this on that line right there. Man, you don't have much use for them. Alternative armies are releasing some ace terrain for the Celtics Legends game. Would be perfect for DBA. No, I don't have any use for that. Haven't I done enough time? Even if I played DBA, the people that I would play with, man, their work schedule, their schedule sucks. It just isn't worth it trying to get together on a weekday. I got too much work for that. I got too much work, and the people I'd get together with are like don't have enough work on that day. Okay. Yeah, I'm actually not going to our local con that's coming up next week. For the first time, voluntarily, since 2001. I don't feel bad about it. I would have gone, but it was the same weekend that I needed to do something with the daughter. So, as the saying goes, have fun storming the castle. Yeah, I saw some posts on one of the groups, and it was like these like ancient cities or something like that. Was that the stuff coming up by alternative armies? Do they still churn out stuff? I was thinking that they didn't. I thought it was all like old school. Oh, you do those figures? Those are old figures. I don't care about old figures, but some people are persnickety about that. Come on, come on. You have some of those 15 millimeter North Star cobblestone cavemen on the way, including those wolves. They look great, don't they? I have wolves. I don't know, I'll take your word for it. They're beautiful figures. He's an excellent sculptor. Let me guess, they come from Britain. Everything I want comes from Britain. Okay. Let's go ahead and glue these two together. Bacchus, yeah, they just posted. I just saw them come up in the last couple days, but I've been busy. I've been real busy. Well, I mean, I can't look at them here. You know, they look great, whatever the hell they were. Whatever the heck they were, they look great. I'm enjoying doing this more than anything else because I get to do dramatically different things from one vehicle to the other. I can hop around however I want. I don't have to get them ready for any certain tournament or a game or anything. Okay, it looks like this is riding right here. Did an unboxing of the wolves. I'm not sure if you ever did them for anything unless that's where the Irish doggo comes from. I think he does come from there. I know. I have a mountain. You have to be like freaking Atlas to pick up the mountain that I have of lead. Well, it's all in one box, but it's just. I mean, you could pick it up. It's just going to hurt your back. Yeah, I missed that Irish doggo, man. He was badass, wasn't he? McDoggo. Oh, it's Doggo McDoggo. You guys aren't allowed to name things over there. You guys have, what is that, Bodie McBoatface or whatever, like a bunch of people that failed advertising. Hey, we got jackholes here, don't know how to name things, so. Same guys that name dinosaurs the world over. Oh, that reminds me. Speaking of naming dinosaurs. I was looking around and I came to this place in Cocoa Beach. See if I can find it. Called the Dinosaur Store. I'm like, all right, cool, dinosaur store. All right, well, I'm a dinosaur nerd. And if you look at they've got all kinds of like Egyptian mummy stuff there. I'm like, okay, well, okay, there's occasionally a dinosaur. And they have some displays here. And I've said before, they've named all kinds of dinosaurs since I was a kid. I was into dinosaurs in the 70s, really early 80s. Here is the skeleton of this creature I've never heard of before. And it's called Diabloceratops. Like, what the F? Now, I don't know if it's this one. Diabloceratops. Oh, it might be this other one over here. Yeah, they got the Chinese Imperial Warriors and the Parasaurolophus. There's a dinosaur here. It looks all fucked up looking, and I wonder if this got to be what it is by a name. Ankylosaurus, his cousin, with the spiky things. No, there was this fucked up looking Triceratops. I wonder if that's what it is. Oh, now it's not coming up, huh? Here it is. I wonder if it's this thing. That's some kind of a ceratops thing. Anyways, the people that name dinosaurs are, maybe not that one in particular, but they definitely should not be in advertising. Yeah, I don't remember what videos I've done. I really don't. I really don't. I've done thousands of videos, and I've only done that many because they're like unprofessional. Like, it's just not worth my time to go and like, let's edit it to make sure that I seem like a god to people. Like, who cares? Yeah. Get on with it. If I put a lot of effort in the videos and nobody watches them, it's like it's a waste of my time. If I just do whatever and people watch it, cool. The Irish doggo. Yep. The dog with a drinking problem. It's gonna come over. It's gonna come over to the middle of this next one, but let me just stop shy in case I dog with a drinking problem. Not that there's anything wrong with that. Yeah, I feel like I had a really good grip of what was out in 15 millimeter, and now I'm just like, I don't have a clue. Coruscant, I'm sure, has come out with 3 or 4 more armies that I already have. I never bought an army from Coruscant. They always came up with stuff like, oh, well, that would have been great if you guys would have come up with it a couple of years ago. Well, I don't mind using older figures. They don't bother me. They need some love too. And we got hundreds of DBA battles. That's why when somebody wanted to take over and they're like, oh, I didn't know you had DBA battles. Like, you want to run DBA in Florida, and you weren't aware that we made hundreds of DBA battle videos, in which there's more than one battle in each one. Go fly a kite up your ass. That was probably the straw that broke the camel's back. Well, now they got even less players than when I was playing, so enjoy that. This is going to look like a batting cage. Yeah, one of my pet peeves. People that want you to volunteer for shit, and then they want you to volunteer a certain way. How about I do what I want to do? If that's not good enough, then don't worry about it. And I don't mind helping people out. I mean, all the time people say, hey, who makes this? I don't mind stopping what I'm doing and go search for shit, That's how you learn. That's how you learn who makes what. Go out, man, I wonder who makes such and such. Well, go look for it. And the next thing you know, you're like an expert. Okay, now we got the really... the real angular one. Okay, 1, 2, 3 boxes tall. All right, so what kind of an angle is this? It is start at a corner and go over 2. Okay, so if I start at a corner and go over 2, does that fit the angle? It's pretty close. Okay, so likewise, this should be the opposite. Start at the corner, go down, go over 2. Except we need to cut a box off this one. Maybe just go over 1. So start at this corner, go over 1. Well, whenever I open that 15 millimeter box, whatever the hell it is, I'll probably be surprised at what I have. I didn't know I had these guys. I'm just kind of bummed out about 20 millimeter figures. There aren't too many 20 millimeter figures that work for drivers and crewmen of these things that I like. They make them. They just don't like, they don't make ones I like, that's all. O'Doggle with his master with a pink cloak and no shoes. It's an Irish thing. Maybe it helps him count. Hey, how many beers have you had? Oh, I don't know, let me take my shoes off. Not that there's anything wrong with that. Which one did I just get done? El Camino. I still think my favorite one is the Redneck Riviera. And the reason why it's my favorite one is because it's a splice. It's a splice at the top and the bottom. So we're going to be doing that stuff more often than not. Like the buggies, I got a herd of buggies. I'm probably going to mix and match them. You do not fancy those new 20mm Gaslands one for North Star? Hold on a second. Let me see what it is. The North Star ones, the Implements of Carnage, those guys look good. And their individual figures, they must be Copplestone. Copplestone's sculpting style is awesome. Like, let that guy just go hog wild. It reminds me of Dave Alsop in a way. The proportions of his figures are like great. Mace Face, let's see. The stuff from Britain is just so hard to get now. Mace Face miniatures. North Star, okay. Are they Dark Zone? I'll tell you what I feel about it. I ain't scared. No, these look fucking awesome. No, these are great. I mean, I don't need loose figures like this, but yeah, this is like cobblestone style. And I don't know if it's him, but scavengers. You know, I don't love guys with like gas masks and stuff, but the styling on them, yeah, this is what I want. These guys look great. They look better than the guys I have, but the guys I have are probably sculpted 40 years ago by somebody that I would consider not a professional. You sent me the link? Okay. Yeah, that's where I'm there. Well, I'll click on your link. How about that? Yeah, it's the same page. No, these guys look great. I had not seen them. But all I need is drivers. I need, like, what are these block troops? Yeah, they look like Eastern block troops. It's exactly what they look like. No, these figures are awesome. I'm glad somebody in Britain is making 20 millimeter figures, because like everybody seems like they're catering to like, I don't do anything smaller than 28 millimeter. Okay, short guy. You know? In 20 millimeter, I mean, I know people in Britain like 20 millimeter. I like it more than the people in Britain. That's my scale, damn it. Except ancients. I wouldn't want to do ancients in 20 millimeter. Ancients, 15 millimeter. Ancients, all medievals, that kind of stuff. But modern shit, 20s all the way. All the way. And there's some Hot Wheels sets that come with like figures. Like they'll have like some beach car, like at the beach, they'll have some hunk guy and some dainty girl or something, and they're 1/64th scale. They're not painted well, but you can repaint them. But they're really tall. They wouldn't work well. They'd work well with the vehicles, but they wouldn't work well with any of the other figures. Yeah, I need just like drivers. It's kind of limited what these guys have, unfortunately. Oh, block drivers and passengers, no picture. Rat bastard. Yeah. No, I didn't know about those. I know about those, but it's just so damn difficult to get shit. And there's some 3D printing people that make them. I don't like the style that they're made in. And they're 3D printers that I love their work. And they didn't design the figures. They're just printing them on demand from somebody else. But, you know. Like my little Irish car. I need two mix in there, like, causing havoc. They don't necessarily need to look like leprechauns or anything. They can just be generic figures. I can leprechaun them up, put a little hat made of green stuff or something. I don't really need to make them look like leprechauns, but we can Irish them up or whatever. Murphy's lawnmower. But we're going to finish doing this. We're going to prime this stuff. And while the prime is drying, now that I figured out I can drill stuff out with the portable, we're going to bring the portable drill in here. We're going to prep some other vehicles, including some dune cars. I'm going to do some dune buggies. Dune buggies. Yeah. For the dune dudes, that's what we're going to call them for the time being. Surfers, guys that hang out at the beach, beach bums, guys that like being, around dunes of both kinds at the beach and the ones that aren't at the beach, the desert dunes. Technicals. Okay, I think this is the size that we need. This is perfect on this end. That's pretty perfect on that end too. Now to make another copy of this. Dune dudes. There's a vendor at the flea market, the one that's close by. Well, it still takes 20 minutes to get there, but it's technically close by. It is a sad flea market, But there's one vendor that literally sets up a table and he puts all his cars out. And he had these, best way to describe these vehicles is they were woodies. So like 1940s style surfer station wagons. With a wood paneling on the side, and that's what they call them, woodies. With surfboards and shit on them. I remember last time I went, he had a whole slew of those. And he wanted like $6 or $8 for each of them, but there's something that hasn't been available for a long time. I'm not saying I'm going to go over there and get those, but I'm just saying that they are available. The only thing I wish is I was thinking, if I didn't have all these damn models unbuilt, I would take all these things, put them in the drawers, and organize the drawers by easier to get to. But I think we got a handle on them in bags, because I know where they're not at, kind of thing. All right, so this is going to go to this side, and this is going to go like so. So we go from that top to basically the intersection. So we're going to go from the top to the intersection here, and let's see how that fits. Wolfman, you live in a flat, right? How do people in a flat normally do laundry? You don't have your own laundry machine, do you? You got to go to a public laundry or something like that? I was just thinking because the laundry's running. I've never had to do that, luckily, and I haven't had a vehicle before, so I had to pull some stunts to wash my clothes at parents' house or something like that. I'd rather not have a car and have a laundry machine. That's perfect. That's even better than the other side. A terrace house. What is a terrace house? That's kind of what. So like what I would call a condo. Okay. And it's like a bedroom or multiple bedrooms to yourself, or you share it with someone. You don't have to tell them if you don't want to. I'm just curious. I'm just genuinely curious. My daughter, when she went their first year, she went to college. She's in a dorm. Well, she's still in a dorm, but she had to share a room with someone. No. I could share a house with somebody. I have. It's been a long time, but I gotta have my own space, even if it's small and just I mean, I'm not. It's not that I'm a loner, but there's I like to be by myself and think sometimes, when I'm working on something. Flat dwellers have washing machines that either dry on radiators or have a little dryer with a nozzle hanging out the window. Yeah, you can't dry things outside here in Florida because it gets stinky. The humidity and the pollen just makes it smell like seafood in a way ish. It defeat the purpose of one of the best things about washing your clothes is that smell of clean laundry. Well, you don't get that if it smells like I guess I don't know what a flat is. I just assumed that what a terrace house was like, an apartment, and maybe a flat is like the whole damn floor. I guess it could get pretty big. same thing we did last time because it worked really well. Yeah, you're being a troublemaker. Mine has a biggish garden, and it's the gable end. What are you growing there? I know what people in the United States would be growing. You growing the beans or the toasted there? Okay, so we've got this all the way around like a prison car. All right, and we're gonna have this rocket up here. You know, I was thinking about it, and I like the idea of putting that on it, although it does look kind of Ghostbustery, and then painting that flag on it. Of course, that would take a long time to do. But then I'd have to use the smaller rockets. And since it's the main weapon, I think this is the way to go. I think painting this is the way to go. Alright, well, we need to put glue land away. And we're going to paint these items in this, and then we're going to go pick some candidates to tear apart. Because I actually thought I had more vehicles to work on that have already been clear coated and washed, and I don't. I do not. So we're going to organize the pieces parts we have, and then we'll pull out some candidates, and I guess we'll just do it here. I mean, that drill worked really well. So all right, so let's flip these upside down. And we could probably just paint this like this. The stickum stuff is great. Okay, so we got a boo-boo. The 3D printed figures that several of the 3D printers make, I just don't like the style they're done in. Sorry. You know, they didn't design them. They got the rights to do them from somebody else, you know. Okay. You have one that started? Yeah, we could use this one. All right, and a brush that's not going to take a week to paint something. Really, I need to paint this first. This is what's going to take a while to dry. That netting will be dry in no time. I'm not ready to do a war rig yet. It's like a good weekend project. Like work on it on the weekend, not like, oh man, I got like hardly any of it to show for it done before I have to go to work again. You see I know I told you about State of Decay 3, right? I haven't seen any promos of it. I kind of don't want to. Whenever they come out with it, I'm going to buy it just out of principle. Unless they do something dramatically different. I don't see not liking that. And that ripoff of it wasn't that good. Whatever it was called. Whatever strain. It looked... the people looked even uglier. If you find that, believable. Should make netting in black. State of Decay to be a surprise. Usually get games way after release, so I never get that verge of launch experience, for lack of a better description. I haven't watched a single demo. Supposedly the demo that we did see a couple of years ago, it's totally different. Something about they're going to be zombie animals. Well, there should have been zombie dogs. Walking Dead should have had zombie dogs. Or a way to customize your figures. Not that I really want to customize them. You don't want to make your vehicle, your guys look really attractive and then they fucking die. But actually, I never re-rolled my crew. I'm like, I would just give me random guys, and I'm like, I'd take it. I don't care if they, ate all the food or they had, attributes that were bad. I'm like, just freaking deal with it. They get to be too much of a problem, go send them out and get killed. I just like the way you were able to manage the base. It wasn't too much of a base buildy thing. It was a good balance of like action and like finding things and like running out of supplies. But unless you're an idiot, the supply management is pretty reasonable. It's not like you have to micromanage everything. But I'm not a feral fan. I do not like ferals. I've failed some morale checks fighting ferals. The big guys, the juggernauts, not worried about them. You could hear them a mile away. And you can like play peekaboo in the house and take shots at them and stuff like that. But the ferals are just trouble. Did you ever play the first one? I think you did. I played the first one when it came out, and the second one. The second one's better than the first one in every way, but the first one wasn't bad. I prefer the when I first said, "Oh, they're going to make gas consumable in the cars," I'm like, "That's going to suck." No, it didn't. You know, it did not. Although I never really cared much for that activation. You got that one guy that's the what is he like, the mercenary or whatever? He's just that guy in the cowboy hat going, "Hey, you guys want to go on a mission?" You know, or the little mission guy that was he set up camp. You know, and they always gift you something you don't need. Like for instance, one of the things is um, kill 50 zombies with shots to the head using a submachine gun. What do you win? A submachine gun. Well, I don't fucking need it now. that, that's what I needed to do the thing, or like, chop off limbs using a hatchet. What did you get? A hatchet. I'm like, I don't fucking need it now. You played the first one a little, but two was where I proper jumped in. The first one, the first one was great, and then all the expansion that the first one had. I love the one that was in the big city, the Danforth. I love that one. That one was great. It was way too short. That one was great. This last expansion that they did with like the vagina walls, that's what I call them. That's what it kind of looks like. That was stressful. That was pretty stressful with the vagina walls, or whatever the hell they were called. Not the hearts, but the one where you had that one. It's like a story mission where you could like play this group with these two or this one with the other one. And I guess it was on the original map, whatever the hell it was called. That one was pretty stressful. I succeeded, but the only thing I was never able to do was that one that was like the base attack. You still have to survive like 9 waves or something. I'm too old for that shit. Like that's just like fucking stressed out. Because first of all, doing it takes like 25 minutes, and if you fuck it up at the end, you just threw away the 25 minutes. It's not like it was entertaining. It's like stressful the whole time. Because it's just like a rinse and repeat thing. But I love the Danforth missions. They're just too short. That's what that city in Washington State was. I don't think that's where it was supposed to be. Danforth. One of those cities out in the Pacific, over there on that coast where they let people protest and burn shit down. See, that's what happens. You brought about the zombie apocalypse. Let me go get some water. Never really used the crossbows. What else didn't I use? Like the big 50 caliber type thing. Anything like ammo was too scarce. Like, you can't use that until you get more ammo on it. Then you can. It's a great game. I'm surprised so few people that I know have actually played it. And I wouldn't say I'm a zombie game fan at all. That one just hit all the right buttons. Should have bought more of those original caps when they were selling them. I did get one. Should have bought 10 of them or something. Yeah, I'll get all the pieces, parts together. I don't know where the undercarriage of that Morris Minor is. Well, the reality is that we can use a buggy and lift it. Get these ends right here. Good. Ends here. Good. All right. How's this drying? Okay. All right. We don't need, I'll do a little bit here in case that shows. Okay. And then this guy, we got to flip it upside down. All right, we're gonna put this over here. Dry. Not worried about the front lights and all that stuff. We can do those individual priming things later. All right. I'm gonna switch the clothes, and then I'm gonna go ahead and grab the drill, and I'll be right back within 5 minutes. Okay. This shouldn't be out there. All right, we have our 2 metal drill bits here. But before we get into this, we want to get some things organized. So, I'm going to take these pieces parts and I'm going to organize them in this toolbox of sorts. Because you've got all the pieces parts here. This isn't taken apart. This is not taken apart. That one's not taken apart. Okay, so these need to be. And we're gonna play with power tools. So of course we're gonna have an adult beverage. Cause we're from the South. I'll drink it slowly. Okay. What is this the bottom of? Oh, this is probably the bottom of the Riviera. Cool. All right, we got some extra wheels here. All right, so I've got some other parts here. Maybe the Morris Minor will show up here. At the bottom of something that's like a pickup truck or something. I'm not sure what that goes with, so we'll put the loose ends that we don't know what to go with there. This is a little car from Disney Pixar. It's like a it's like the one of the little Tyrannosaurus Rex. So we'll put it there. Okay. This is this really cool car from, which is the Walmart brand one. Let's see, it just needs wheels. It's all together there. It does not have an interior. This is the Skunk Ape, what I call Skunk Ape, which is this vehicle here. Right? Yes. All right. So where's this part? Okay, this is the part that goes with it. This is a cool vehicle, actually. The Primate Rescue. It's a pretty cool vehicle. It's all together. This is a redneck truck that has not been built. This is the toilet. Okay, this is the inside of the Tyrannosaurus Rex. Goes with that one. Okay. This is the Gotta Go guy, which is this vehicle. Does not have an interior. It has the toilet bowl on it. Yes, this is going to flush something. I'm not doing this one until I do the other one. I think these two guys are going to be like 13-point vehicles. Little 13-point compacts or something like that, buggies, something like that. They'll be the attendants that can run with the big pooper truck. Okay. The undercarriage of this is it this? It's got an engine here, but it doesn't really need it, no. I'm not sure what the hell the undercarriage of this thing is. Let's see. Gotta Go, okay. This is the Gotta Go. It doesn't look like it goes on that. Okay, and this fits underneath here. Okay, this is the little, and there's probably going to be something sloshy in there, you know, something you don't want to get on you. Okay. All right, this is a big vehicle, and I'm not sure why I took this apart because this doesn't look like something that'd be a priority to do. That vehicle's untouched. This vehicle's untouched. Armored car is untouched. And this alligator clip does not need to be there. These wheels, I'm not sure who they go to. They look like they go on a Mini Cooper. I'm gonna put this one on the wheels that we don't know. It's this Opal Blitz box. These are like extras that I don't know what the heck these are. This is going to be something you can replace the undercarriage is probably useful, and so are the wheels. So I don't really know what the heck on the top of this is, but you could probably throw something on top of it. It'd probably be okay. So if you threw something like, not that we're going to do that. Wheels aren't that far off. Okay, but they're not taken apart. All right, now we gained a box. I don't need this Opal Blitz box. Now, what's in this other container? The British! The British! We have this tank. That's not British. So what would I do for the British for a tank? Somebody just came out with like a TOG or something like that. That would have been good. I was going to get one of those charioteers or something like that, but... Okay, here's this guy that has... This part goes with it. This thing's going to have one of those long guns sitting up here. I don't like this city race. We'll have to get rid of that. We'll keep the Union Jack. I like the Union Jack, but I don't like whatever kind of race that is. I think this might have a window that goes with it, like this one. So that's all the pieces of this one. Okay. The Triumph is all there. It just needs crew. You know, you can't use this car without a crew. This is that little Vauxhall, whatever the thing is called, that Australian truck or whatever. This is an old 1930s car that's not going to be, we'll use that for World War II. This is a redneck truck. This is going to get taken apart. Okay? We talked about that one. We're going to take that one apart. A buggy has not been taken apart. Here is this Nerdburglar vehicle that is going to have like a bunch of remote control cars. They even have a remote control car back here in the bottom of it. Like perfect for that. I just need a crew. I mean, I need two guys in there. Nerdy or otherwise. These Bobbies on the Run or whatever the hell they're called. I'll put it in here because it's one of the British ones. But and here's a little Morris Minor. There's that. It says Ford Anglia, but okay. Ford Anglia, that's the Harry Potter mobile. It's almost a freaking same, but it isn't. So this is the fish and chip model. That's literally what it's called. And all these parts go here. That's gonna be some kind of pompous dude. A Bentley that... I'm not gonna repaint that. That's pretty cool. That's a nice paint job. Another Land Rover. I already have one of them. One of them is gonna get torn apart for pieces. I already tore one of them apart. This panel van, that reminds me of the van that those two British dudes were in 101 Dalmatians. Although it's, I don't know if it's distinctly American or not, but what's this doing down here? Extra parts. Okay, here's another one as like poppycock. This is like the Poppy car, a Jaguar Mark 1. I don't really know what these winders and things go. Wheels and such. This is the bottom of the Morris Minor. Hallelujah! Okay. This is actually a priority vehicle because I'm going to make this a buggy and I'm going to call this Minor Incursion. Okay? I didn't even use AI for that one. It might be a stupid name. You know what? I bet those wheels are for it. The ones that I said are for the Mini Cooper. I bet this is the inside of it. Why couldn't I find it the other day? Yeah, let's get rid of this old thing. Minor Incursion. All right. Put this back up. Yeah, a little buggy. 13-pointer. This is, I couldn't find it the other day. Is this the inside of it? Or is this the inside of it? Ha! Okay, that goes there. Does this go with it? No, the wheels are not held down in the correct place for that one. Does this hold the wheels down in the correct place? Yes and yes, okay? Does that fit on there? Yes. I don't know that I'm going to put windows on it, the glass, but let's at least check and see. And also those wheels that were for, I'm pretty sure it had these wheels here. This is a Matchbox. I believe it was these wheels. Not that we can't put something ridiculous on there. Yeah, these are the wheels that go with it. Minor Incursion. Yeah. This is the. Oh, it's this one. No. Wait. Putting it in the wrong place. There we go. Yeah, something like that. I actually don't think those are the wheels for it. The wheels are great on it, though. They're probably less hearty wheels than those. All right, I don't know what that goes with. We'll put it in the pieces parts, and this isn't taken apart, so we're not going to entertain that. All right. Are there any of these vehicles here that are candidates for coming up soon? I want to take this one apart because I have to. It's basically metal, and in order to paint the inside, I'm going to close this thing up. It's metal on metal. So this is definitely one that we would need to do that treatment on. Okay? I don't care for these guys to do them right now, or this Volkswagen SUV looking thing, or the tank, or the armored car, or these two things. This Jeepy thing, nope, not right now. Not the Anaconda, not this truck. Okay, the douche canoe, absolutely. Douche canoe is one of the ones that we're going to take apart. This thing's cool, but we're not doing it right now. Not doing that one either. I'm going to do a buggy, but I don't want one that I have to use a crew on. Okay, so these items here, I'm going to move them away and take them from here. Okay? I'll just put them in the bottom of this. This is fine. I'm not going to put loose parts here anyways. Hey, Hoffman. What happened? How you hanging? All right. I'm not really in a hurry to do. Well, maybe the Carolina squat guy, Squatty McSquatstein. We'll put the Unimog down there too. All right, let's go look and preferably things that are out of a package already. Oh, here's another Winder. Yeah, Texas came up on something. I wanted to talk to you about Texas. Because I don't know if you told me at one point whether or not you had a heavy accent, which you don't have an accent at all. So if you're working on one, you need a new trainer. Okay. I want to get where the Dune dudes are at. Yeah, you're from Texas. Something come up with Texas. What was it? I don't know what it was. Nothing bad. Just chit chat. Believe it or not, this would actually make a good vehicle. Just need a rider for it. A tractor. And it actually seems like it's not too out of scale. Okay, we got a Bubba truck here with like camouflage and shit. Got this red Bubba truck. Nerd Burglars here. Yeah, you see this one? The Nerd Burglars are definitely a team of guys that are like, how can I put this? Thin-skinned, okay? Thin-skinned criminals. So you see this is a Wonder Woman car? Now it's got to be a Wonder Person or a Wonder Man or something like that. There's Science Van. That probably should move that up. And probably this one too. If I'm going to drill into metal, let's get one that's a pain in the ass to drill. Hey, what's here? These are cars from my youth. Is any of these a priority? You guys see when I actually strip the paint off this using hand sanitizer? A tractor would be really cool, especially if you had like a Ram. Yeah. I got another one of these damn trucks. With the same truck? It's similar. This is the Dirty Cooter truck. That's going to need to be... we'll see how it goes. I'm curious. Because with a Dremel, I couldn't do it. With a regular drill, I couldn't do it. With this thing, I could. I don't know. Maybe it's just magic. All right. All of these are in... All right, we wanted to pull a brotherly mobile out here, too. This thing. This is like Pimp Daddy. Right here. It's a Seville. Right? Isn't that what it is? A Cadillac Seville? Cadillac Seville. Pimp Daddy. Does Matchbox or Hot Wheels make a Ford Bronco? They both make one. I have one. I turned it into Rick's vehicle. Ram and Rhonda. I don't know if I have a new Bronco. This is a Walmart brand one that I got used from the store in Ocala. This thing turned out great. Ram and Rhonda. But this is like a 60, what year is it? 66? Something like that. Lots of people make the new one. The new one looks pretty cool. Well, I don't like what's the other one called? The Sport? No. The regular one. They just, those things are cost prohibitive. They look good though. Retro done right. There's retro done wrong, but that's a retro done right. Want to do that one? Want to do the Regal too? Meaning we want to do them sooner rather than later. Okay. What's this? The Porsche? Yeah. All right, bunch of loose ends here. What do we got? These are all generic American. Here's a Crush vehicle. Believe it or not, this is not damaged. This is how it comes. You get this vehicle like that, and it's called Flatiron. Yeah, it's flat all right. Now this is going to be like asshole buddies with Rocket Reckoning. What do we have here? Yeah, here's another El Camino. Here's another El Camino with the engine back here. And here's another one. Or variations of the El Camino. The one I had was a 68. This is a 71. And this one I bet is a 68 as well. 68. This is the same model, but here's a more modern one. I mean, all these things are cool. Just what's coming up next? I still haven't made it to the Dune dudes. More Japanese. Let's not go there. That gets me too excited. Where's my Subi, anyways? I don't think I put my Subi in there. The most expensive one I bought it. I had to buy it. They wanted $15 for it. Here's some Dune guys. They wanted $15, so I'm like, oh, I'll buy it used for out of the package for $10. But it's my own car, so. Okay, this thing already has rockets on it. This is a repaint. It's got some kind of Tyrannosaurus something or other. So, that's going to be a repaint. This little Volkswagen. Look at that paint scheme. It's like, it looks like it's all damaged and shit. Like, yep, you're good to go. And you don't need a crew for it. I just don't have crew figures. I thought I had like a Volkswagen. Oh, this thing. This thing that has the freaking guns already on it. Definitely a candidate. Okay, that's enough for those guys. I think that's enough things to chop up. That'll give me a couple of different things to design. let's see how this goes. Whoop. Come on. That's awfully tilted. Tilted and jilted. All right, that's water. Let's put this out of the way here. All right. The Morse is ready to go. This guy's drying. So the first thing I want to do is, there's some of the, did I not close the door? No, it's closed, it's just loud. Okay, loudish. All right, first thing I want to do is, let's separate these into ones that definitely have to be drilled out because they're metal. This is definitely one of them. It's got one metal piece. The whole bottom of it is metal, the top is metal. You have to use this. Okay, same thing with this one. This just has the metal prongs. That has the metal prongs. Got a slippery joker. This one just has the metal prongs, where normally I would just take the Dremel and go around the plastic. We're going to try to drill out the metal here. Same thing here. Same thing with that one. Same thing with this one. Same thing with this one. Occasionally you get some that have plastic all the way through. This one's completely metal. This one's metal prongs. Being me, it's metal on both sides. Okay, so all of these just have the top of a metal, the bottom is plastic. So I normally would have gone around the plastic. These, I have to do them the hard way. So we're going to start with the X-Men vehicle, which is going to have the wheels replaced. And why are the wheels replaced? Well, notice they're both here, but they have inserts, and the inserts are missing. Okay, this is how I got it. So let's put the super readers on. And we're going to start with a small one. Now, the only reason I'm okay with doing this is, and this does not make any sense, why this worked, but my Dremel did not. Because my Dremel has a foot pedal, and I can go really slow. And this thing, like maxed out, that's as fast as it'll go. And it worked better. I don't understand it. But this has two things to pop. One in the front, one in the back. I'm going to get some height advantage on it. Try to find a happy place so this does not tilt on me and it's being incorrigible. Let's get away from it a little bit. Tilt it up. I don't know, maybe this won't work. If this starts vibrating too much, it causes this to vibrate, and then we got a different problem. All right. We good? We're in register. These are metal cutting bits. And I just didn't have any luck with the Dremel. Now I'm going to do one thing before we get carried away. Let me get a bag. This bag should work. Let's get rid of all the stuff in the wastebasket. We'll sort where the hell this goes with recycling or what have you later. Just so much packaging. So much unnecessary packaging. So much unnecessary packaging. Okay. Now we should be able to dump that as we go in here. All right. How deep did we go in there? Not that deep. And I was drilling it with a drill when I was in the garage, and it was creating so much heat I couldn't even hold this thing. It was transferring the heat so much. Let's switch to the bigger one, and this is easy to switch. Like a fucking pit crew. Look at that. I couldn't do this with the Dremel. And this is slower than the Dremel. Maybe the Dremel was just too fast. Hallelujah. Pass the hand grenades. Now the only problem is I've been used to gluing these together with a hot glue gun, making a big hole. Now I won't have a big hole. You and your big hole. All right. So note to self, that's how people do it. They use one of these drills. Oh. I'm not sure what that button does. Let's make sure this thing is... It didn't even get hot. There we go. Where have you been all my life? In the garage. What's this? What's going on here? There we go. Okay. So here's the interior of it. I don't even know what vehicle this is supposed to be. Custom Continental, so it's a Lincoln Continental. These wheels will are definitely like gone. This is a Johnny Lightning. X-Men Nerdburglar Spectacular. Oh, that even comes off showing an engine. Well, the problem with showing an engine is, yeah, you needed to have this hood. Plus, what's her name's on there? What's her name? Lady Jane or Jane Grey or. I don't know my superheroes. Okay. Done! How necessary is this step? If I want to switch things out, it's not necessary. Okay, like for instance, let's say I didn't have a drill, okay? And I wanted to do this. It isn't necessary, okay? And I wanted to do this El Camino, right? It already has a window. All I would do is I would find a way to secure these wheels so they don't roll. And just splooging hot glue in there works fine, all right? And then I would clear coat it with flat, and and give it a wash, and then I would come in and like I'd probably do, that's what I'll do with this one is, I won't do anything with it. I won't take this one apart, because all I got to do is put a little bit of mesh here, a little bit of mesh there, and it's done. So it's not necessary. On something like this, it is necessary, because if I want to paint this, I can't, because I can't remove this plastic. I mean, this has been through hell and back. Okay? And one issue this is going to be is, normally these rivets are kind of recessed, so it would normally fit in there with like a drill bit. This one actually sticks out, so it may slide on me as I try to drill this out, and it may not work. It's not necessary though. You know, just like completely stripping the paint off of it isn't necessary. You know, like, why would I strip this vehicle? It's got some nice striping. I mean, if you wanted to paint this, if you have this idea in your head that, like, I want to make it purple, okay, maybe you want to strip it, but you could just, like, prime over it and just go. I mean, this paint is thick, but it's not. This is less in cursive, and this is less of a problem than taking the paint off. That takes a long time, comparatively. This was a pain in the ass. I stopped doing it. I stopped doing it because everybody made it look so damn easy on the internet, and it wasn't. Well, using a power drill doesn't work. The same drill bits, I don't know. Maybe it wasn't holding my mouth right. But it's really frustrating to watch some video and people make it look like it's real easy, and then you go to do it, and it's like, they freaking lied to me. You know? No, we need to go deeper. But this, I mean, if I had to switch this out with the Dremel, I'd have to get the key. And I mean, there's nothing wrong with the Dremel. It's awesome, but this works better for this. Go figure. The paint jobs, you know, almost all of them have pretty cool paint jobs. Like this looks terrible. Okay, it's like, it's blue. There's some kind of T-Rex stuff. I'm fine with the T-Rex thing, but why like metallic blue? But it's already got a missile here, a couple of missiles here, you know. So this is going to be a rocket-armed buggy, you know. It's not making much of a mess either. Let's try that. Yeah, like this. Why would I redo this paint job? Why would I redo this? The whole reason in doing this one is that it says science on it. That's why I got it. I'm like, it's a science fan. You know, nerds have a hard-on for science, traditionally. Nope. I'm not a science fan. Oh, you don't like your science denier? No, I'm not. Just not exciting. Earth sciences, dinosaurs and shit like that, but I thought I liked chemistry. Man, I liked the whole atomic table, and then you started talking about molality and normality. I'm like, oh, this is fucking algebra 2. Fuck this shit. Me no program that way. I feel like this is ready to pop out. It's a really wide rivet. How many do on juice? I mean, I think it's fully charged. We're at 3. So that's a consideration. I got a bigger drill bit, but it's almost like you could use a bigger drill bit. It's just not a metal one. Do I have it in here? Let's see. This is enjoyable that I can do it in here. Yep, I got a bigger one. Yep, let's try that. And normally, I'm not a tool guy. I'm not like somebody who has like tons of tools, but I've collected some over the years. And now I have a hobby that you can use the tools. You don't need all this shit for doing DVA stuff. Boy, you're being difficult. But this is also, oh yeah, we're coming through. This is also a very old model. There we go. Okay, now we have this interior that we can remove and paint as needed. And it says Mean Green Racing Team. You can barely make out the racing team part. But we're going to leave it in this wacky color. Hot Wheels 1987. I would have thought it would have been much older than this. Okay, that one's apart. This one we're going to strip. We're going to strip the paint on this thing. Okay? And this one has one hole in the front. This is the one that I thought it was probably going to slip on me. Alright, so let's go back to the original one. I only have 2 metal cutting drill bits, and it's these 2. They were expensive. They're like $10 a piece or something like that. And I thought I'd wasted my money on them because they didn't work very well, but you just need a hand one, I guess. How are we doing on battery? I only have 1 battery. Oh, now it's got more charge than before. No fucking logic there. Okay, let's see how we do here. A lot of these rivets and stuff are kind of like pot metal. They're cutting through this really well. I'm surprised. I was just getting ready to stop, and I was like, thunk. I'm like, uh-oh. This should be easy because we've already gone through it. This is the least amount of pain in the ass this has ever been. No suelta. We just put on something. I feel like it's like loose. Just need something to pry this. I got an old screwdriver that's all bent to shit. I don't think it's in here, but there's the Tamiya cutters. We won't be using those. Just vacuum this up before we don't want this all over the floor. So I got this stuff called, I was going to say simple grease, but that's not it. Citrus Strip. And Citrus Strip, you know, it actually smells good. And it's like a gel. It's a rather thick gel. Kind of like pudding in a way. But it smells of like oranges. Chemically orange, but still, it's not too bad. Okay, so I think what's keeping it in is that one little thing right there. So let's... Bet that did it. Nope. Still being difficult. There we go. That did it. Alright. Yeah, this is ancient. 1979 Hong Kong. That thing falls out. This was originally yellow and chipped. So this is banged up a little bit, which probably will be just fine. It's got no winders, which is okay. We'll just mesh it up. So this thing's is ready to go Citrus Strip. Yeah, you just put it in like a cup, put that paste on it, let it do its thing, and then what I found is you just put one of those Dremel bits on it that looks like it's got like a brass one. You know, you don't want to use metal because it'll damage this, but like a brass one, and then just go over it and it'll take all the stuff out. But it's a step you got to wait on. But I may strip this one too. I may strip this one. Sting Rod. That's what this one's called. Made in Malaysia. What year is this one? 2015. Okay, we got all the heavy metal ones down. All of these should be easier to do. Should be easier to do. You want me to show you how Citrus Strip works? I'll go get it. Once we pull this one apart, I'm gonna... What about this Burning Man thing? I kind of like that logo. It looks like a guy on fire. I have tried sanding off the paint. It takes too damn long. You have to remove all the plastic parts. I'm going to leave this little Burning Man dude on it. It's like Burning Man meets Blue Man Group. I think we're going to keep that paint on it. This one's armed with a pair of machine guns. That's 2 slots. Pair of machine guns. Well, it's a buggy, so it's 6, right? And 2 regular machine guns, that's 4, that's 10. And, you know, we'll make this a 13-point vehicle. This is 6. Rockets makes it 11. This will be a 13-point vehicle as well. This will too. So will the Morris Minor. You know, that way you get 2 of these or a 27-point vehicle. So, this one, I don't think I'm going to tear anything apart on it. I think we're just going to clear coat that one and move on. Yeah, the El Camino is like freaking perfect. But this one, I think we're going to strip the paint. There's just too much damn graphics on it. Too much damn graphics. I mean, it's even got rockets. This thing's got rockets galore. The Rocket Man. All right. Yeah, I feel like I turned a corner the other day when I used this and popped one of the vehicles off because it was like I was at a dead stop. Like, man, you watch these videos and these people make it look on the internet that it's so damn easy and I can't do it. Too. But I've drilled these things before. Initially, I've said it. I felt like I was going to lose a finger. I'm totally in control with this. I feel like the speed's slow. I'm not doing it over my body. Hey, you should use that and make your own barbed wire. Yeah, it doesn't work that way. I think we need to use the big one to finish it off. Ooh, this one got hot. It's even got rockets underneath. Now, how are you going to set that thing off? You're going to hit your own suspension once it loads from the bottom. Yeah, well, if it loads from the bottom, then it feeds through to the guy's legs. Yeah, he might like that. Ah, my favorite song. Is this the first one we've done? Okay, so this is the first modernish vehicle I've done this with. And I noticed it didn't cut as well as these old ones. So we may have to go back to the plastic system. How we doing on battery? It's 3. Okay. Well, that was fucking easy. Now, the reason why I want to drill this out here is if I start the show here, I'd have to stop it to go outside because I don't want to bring the computer out to the paint station. Look at this. This was not bad. This was not bad. Now we'll dump this in citrus strip. Okay? So, you want to citrus strip this guy and this guy. Is there anything else that could possibly get citrus stripped? No. We're fine with everything else. So let me go grab it and show you how that's done. And if it wasn't so environmentally friendly, I wouldn't do it in here. But do I still have the old cup? I do. I'll use another one. We got a shitload of those. They're like damn near free. I'll be right back. Okay, so this is just some mug that we have a shitload extra that I'm not going to get into why we have a shitload extra, but they left them with my wife and so we used them. And this is stuff right here. It's available at Walmart. Citrus Strip Paint and Varnish Stripping Gel. Citrus scent. Yeah, it actually smells pretty good. So we're going to grab a brush that will never be used for anything else. So I still kept some of these old brushes that I didn't want to throw away. So we're going to commandeer one of these. And they're like super cheapo, don't have a shape worth a damn, okay? And these are the two holes that we're going to do. We're going to get rid of this because we don't know what it could possibly do to this. You're supposed to use gloves. I'm not going to use gloves because I'm not going to get it on my hands. Famous last words. You're supposed to mix this stuff. I don't know. We're going to mix it. It's been sitting. Try to keep your pants on. Okay. And this stuff is this one doesn't smell great. It doesn't smell horrible, but it doesn't smell great. All right, and we're going to be liberal with this stuff. So we're just going to paint. If it was watery, then you'd have to submerge this. See, it's already getting some of the red off. You'd have to submerge this in this stuff. Probably should have done this. I bet it did do this on the other one. Look, some of the metal's even coming off already. Look at that. It's working well, but I don't know if this is old. Because it doesn't smell like citrus. It smells like, I don't know. So we'll leave this overnight. It supposedly works in like 30 minutes, and it really does, but I'm going to let it work its magic. It's not like really I'm in a hurry to do this particular one. Rinse it with water. Get all this extra stuff off of it. Not worried about the inside. and then to take a polishing thing to it. Okay, so that one's in there. Where's the other one? This one I suspect will be more difficult to do. You know what? We're going to use another one of these. Had some wood glue expire and turned into mushy vinegar? Wow, okay, this one's kind of limp. Let's grab one we got a better purchase on. Okay, to be honest with you, I just care about the top. And because it's thick, I can literally apply this like a paste and leave it on it. Right? It's not going to like just wash off. It's still like working its magic by being stuck to it. I don't care about the inside. There's no detail on the inside. Just going to make sure everything is covered in this citrus strip stuff. But it's kind of the same secret with a hand sanitizer. It's thick, so it stays where you put it. Okay? And I just leave that thing in there. It'll rinse it, and maybe it'll be good for other use, maybe it won't. I'm going to go take this to the garage and be right back. Now, some people swear using acetone. Acetone is so corrosive and so stinky that we would have to leave the house. If the wife was here, she would not have complained about the smell because any smell it had is gone now. So, big plus. No, it didn't smell vinegar. It smelled almost like fuel. Mildly, you know? Okay. As we were. All right. This guy. This one has some gimped wheels. This is like some kid like was pressing on this, and they're kind of like cambered a little bit. So we may have to replace the wheels on this one. I should work for the Dune dudes because 420 is coming up. Dude! Exactly. What's this resting on? Something plastic or metal? Metal, okay. Even though I'm switching these, I'd rather do this than have a bunch of them and it breaks and then I have to go back and do a bunch of other ones. Yeah, it's available at Walmart. It works really... It does actually smell good. But that one might be like 4 years old and it's been in the garage. Hot, cold, hot, cold. It's not expensive either. But you have to take everything off its plastic because it'll melt it. Slowly, I mean, you know. And it's not super toxic. And here's what I like about it is it's gel. If you use acetone and you pour acetone on your hands, it'd start burning immediately. The citrus strip, if you put it on your hands, you don't want to. But if you did, it's not the end of the world. You know? I mean, you need to get it off, but it's not like... It's almost like handling, say, concrete. You know? It'll burn you, but you got some time. I just realized I got another car I'm going to bring out here. I don't know if you go on here yesterday, I was talking about I have Thump Daddy. So this is, you know, I'm going to have a flamethrower called Puff Daddy. You know, this is probably going to be Pimp Daddy. And then I have a fat car, I have a fat vehicle with like 47-inch rims. That one's going to be Fat Daddy. Look at this. Just like they showed on the internets. So the guns are integral to this. And they're different, actually. One of them looks like almost like a personal weapon, and one of them, so maybe we can make one a heavy machine gun, another one a light machine gun. But it's a buggy's two-man crew, so they're partners in there. One's sitting on the other one's lap. Well, the problem is if it has one vehicle, it can only fire one gun at a time. So that would be, you know, a bad combination. All right, El Camino, we said we weren't going to take it apart. Perfect. I'm not going to take this one apart either, because I want the glass on here. It's bulletproof glass. Yeah, man, that's how it is. So this one's as is as well. What else we got here? The Regal. The Regal, there's no point in taking it apart because it has no insides. So it also is going to be not taking it apart. I guess it's a Regal. I'm calling it a Buick Regal. Buick Grand National. Ooh, same fucking thing. Okay? Yeah. This guy, I don't see a reason to take it apart. It's good to go. Redneck truck. I don't see a reason to take it apart. It's good to go. Science fan, have to take it apart. There's just too many silvery things that need to be fixed. Okay? And this guy, which we're calling the douche canoe, I'm probably going to repaint it, but I'm probably not going. I'm not going to take it apart. I don't need to. It's solid. The windows are solid. You know, so if I remove them, there's no interior. Like, that's not compatible. So, you know, I'll leave them on there. I do need to scrape this jungle guides off. Okay? So we're going to take this guy apart, and we're going to go grab, let's grab Fat Daddy. Should be easy to find Fat Daddy. Fat Daddy is a really cheap vehicle. Cheaply made vehicle. It's definitely a no-brand vehicle. Okay, and it's loose. That's the Japanese. Why we did this the other day. We can find stuff. Okay, this is, it's not in here. Construction vehicle's not in there. Not in this. Not in there. Not in there. These are the Russians. And the Russians and the Swedes are in there. This could work for Fat Daddy. What do I think of A1 Sky Raiders? They weren't involved in any war that I find interesting. But they're an attractive plane. You know? I'm just not interested in Vietnam. I'm not interested in Korea. But they're a cool looking plane. You know? The first A-10, so to speak. Kind of. I like propeller-driven aircraft. Okay, these guys are Mexicans. What's this? The Germans. The Germans. The bloody Germans. Okay, here they are with the brotherly mobiles. Okay, I'm doing all three of these. Easy. Easy, nerdster. Okay, so this has got a basketball on it. This has got a fist. Oh, I love fisty things. Not really. And this is the one that we're going to call Fat Daddy. Even though it's not as fat as this. Because this is going to have some fisty type name. And this is just kind of wide. So, alright. So, first of all. Do any of these need to be taken apart? So yeah, I don't always take them apart. It's not, you know, what's the point in taking them apart just to put them back together? I mean, unless you're going to switch out wheels or something, which I don't think most of the time they need to have that done. I was in the new Godzilla -0 trailer. We might get some Iowa-class ships versus Godzilla in that movie. Oh, that's the new God. Well, have you even seen the last Godzilla with the... I thought you hadn't. You should, just for that Takao, just for that Japanese heavy cruiser is like worth that. If you don't see it for any reason other than that, that's a good reason. Okay, we need to sand this guy down. This has like a splash of stuff. There's nothing inside this, so there's no reason to take it apart. And I'm not changing those whole wheels. That's the reason I got it. Is it's got those huge, ridiculous spinners on it. Okay, that's good to go. This guy, it's called a dairy delivery. It's a squash version of an actual dairy delivery one that I have. I'm going to leave it as is. I certainly don't want to get rid of the fist thing. We'll probably cover over this little Hot Wheels thing. This says Hot Wheels here, but you can't really make out what it is, so I'm probably going to leave that alone. This basketball dude, I probably need to take this apart. It's got a gold interior. It's got this grill that's gold. I mean, that's purple, like Grimace purple. So I probably need to take this one apart and the science one, and that's all we need. This guy's going to get sanded. And I'm surprised this is the only one that's in the sanding category. And then we'll have plenty of vehicles that will go clear coat. You have went to theater 6 times. 3 times in black and white, 3 times in colors. I also have the 4-disc Blu-ray. I thought you hadn't seen it. Why did I think you hadn't seen it? Did you like it? I mean, so here's the thing. I only saw it one time, okay? And the first thing I remember is like, he was like, where that guy lands on the island and he's like, hey, you need to you need to fire the 2 20mm cannons at Godzilla. I'm like, it just took multiple broadsides of 8 203mm guns from the Takao. I don't think 2 20mm guns are going to do anything to it. I thought the special effects were pretty good. Storyline is crap. I can't believe they killed the girl. Like they would not have done that in in an American movie. I feel like I'm missing a Godzilla movie. Like I haven't seen the ones from the 50s. I did as a kid. I wouldn't watch them now. They're too hokey. And they're black and white. You know how I feel about that. Hey, it keeps me from being perfect. and I feel like I've missed one. The Godzilla versus Kong, that sucked. What did you think about Pacific Rim? Did you like Pacific Rim? -1 was okay. Well, because it's Japanese, right? Americans shouldn't be doing Godzilla movies. It's a Japanese thing. It'd be like having, I don't know, an American James Bond. That doesn't work. Doesn't work for me. Let's see if we can do it this way. I don't feel like standing up. Yes, it does. But I gotta put a lot of pressure on it. So let's have gravity work for you. Much better. Still 3. It's not using that much power. I missed Shin Godzilla. Shin Godzilla is very different. It's one of your favorites. Shin Godzilla. Okay. When did it come out? Well, I'll be honest with you. I like Godzilla because it's a dinosaur. Extra large. Shin 2016. It looks like he's made of lava or something like that. Is that watchable somewhere? Not for free. Okay, well, we'll just have to be on the lookout for it. If I'm going to watch a black and white movie, I probably should watch Seven Samurai. I haven't seen it. Why? It's black and white. There was a sushi place that used to be a high-end sushi place in town, and they would always play reruns of, like, they had a screen, and it was like on autoplay playing Seven Samurai. Just colorize the thing. I'm all for watching samurai shit, you know? Japanese should do more of that, not less. Tubi, and what's the other one that's like Tubi? Pluto, and there's another one. There's 3 or 4 of them that are free. It blinded me with science.
I should just go around this thing. This works really well to do that, actually. Yeah, so the nerd vehicles, they're going to have lasers and the arc light projectors and all that ridiculousness. You know, they don't know shit about the Roman Empire, but they're all like up in, plasma crap. Japan's longest day. I tried watching the, not the Flags of Our Fathers, but the Letters from Iwo Jima again. And even though I like that Japanese actor, Ken is Watanabe or whatever, which is actually like one of the most common Japanese last names. It's like a Japanese Johnson or something. Smith. I couldn't get into it again. I didn't hate it. It just didn't focus again on what was interesting. Now, when I watched the Pacific again, when I watched it with the daughter, man, there's some good Japanese like tanks. I didn't remember there was tanks and shit in it. Like that was pretty cool. I enjoyed the Pacific the second time much better than the first time I watched it. Come on. Come on, you should come up. You should come out now. How about if they got a plastic bottom, we just punch through them the old way? Ooh, these corners are sharp. There we go. We got all kinds of pieces parts in here. Science! Now, where is my ancient snips? These things are older than I am. These are sharp, and they protrude the bottom of them. So let's unprotrude them. All right, I was being too generous trying to go that deep. There we go. All right. Yeah, all this needs to be painted black. Okay. We need to take basketball dude apart. Okay, we'll just use this big one. I don't want to use a good drill bit on that. It'd be nice if you centered properly. Japan's longest day is about the night before the surrender, when the Japanese army tries to revolt and keep fighting. Well, it doesn't sound interesting. I suspect that it is. Oh, did you ever watch that, The Booth in the Back? I know you would like that. It's so good. It's so good. It was recommended to me by somebody who... They've recommended other things to me, and they always recommend things that are... Like, we usually recommend games, and their game recommendation is always good. It's actually from a gamer, and his name is Neil. And it was great, and I showed a couple episodes to my parents when my dad was still around, and I don't know if he was following it because he was kind of older at the time, but they said they were kind of interesting because it was kind of Hitchcockish in a way. It has violent themes, but it doesn't show any violence, and it's not scary, you know? You watched it? Did you like it? I like programming that makes you think. And I felt like it made you think. I wanted to do it this way instead of going all the way around, but I don't think I'm going to be able to do that. That actor, Xander Berkeley, always plays a dickhead. Like somebody, or everything I've seen him in. But he's actually not a dickhead in this one. Yeah, I told you I really liked it. You said if you ever watch it again, listen to it instead of like a radio drama. It's super cool. Oh, okay. Well, you know what that means. I can listen to it in the car, and not look at it, right? Put it face down, run it through Bluetooth. Okay. Yeah, I don't remember it. I don't remember. I feel like it's a show that would appeal to damn near everybody. I think it's so well done considering it is really done on the cheap. And you said you liked Eagle Has Landed, didn't you? That's a good older movie. All right, we're almost done with this guy. Come on. You can do it. Only a little bit left. In Spanish, I would say, estás haciendo picadillo. You're turning it into ground beef. Yeah, listen to it in the car. You'll like it as a radio drama. It works so well. Yeah, it's really cool. And it makes you think. It's like, it's kind of like, in a way, it's kind of like, well, not really. I was going to say it was like Saw. No, it's not. But it's just like, well, what are you willing to do for the results kind of thing, Oh, that's unfortunate. I went through the front and fucked up the grill. Okay, this guy has a ram. Well, how many vehicles have I done and I just fucked one of them up? That's a pretty low percentage. That's about a 1% chance of it happening. Yeah, somebody else watched Eagle Has Landed, though. It's probably Ben. All right. Now, let's get most of this off. Let's try to do as much as we can. What time is it? Let's try to do as much as we can tonight. It doesn't involve, stop what I'm doing and going to spray. That just, that breaks up the whole everything. So we're going to put this over here. I'm going to put the drill bits over here. Take a swig of water. All right, douche canoe. Douche canoe needs some sanding. Yeah, I think it was Ben. And we're just going to sand this jungle bullshit off. I have a feeling I should make this car extremely rusty looking.
This also would be a decent car to turn into a hearse. But I feel like I need a hearse. You know, because a hearse has something that's very hearse-like. Hearse-like. This whole area back here is closed in, and it has like this little swoop, almost like an S. You know, like it's usually silver. That's like, you know, these old style hearses. They have something that's like that. Because that's going to be full frontal funeral. It's going to have a ram. Hadn't been a World War II mate lately, or else I would be playing some Easy Red. Well, let me know when you feel the inkling to do it, and we can do that. I haven't, you know, I feel like this is more stress relief. Not that it's not fun to play Easy Red, but yeah, I think that's enough for that. This guy, I think all of these are pretty much ready to go. What kind of damage did we do there? Yeah, we went through that front grille. Well, that happens. It's probably repairable, but I just assume put a ram on it. I mean, I gotta add rams to some of the vehicles, so I might as well do that. This is going to be probably spit stain. We're going to call this guy spit stain for now. Okay, so at this point, we've got things that need to be primed. We got things that need to be sealed. And, but I think that's going to be for another day. Okay, we're going to go back to Whitey. That's why we did that. You had time to let that thing dry. So I actually gained a box or two, or three. This one's got lots of space. We're going to take all these candidates and we're going to put them in a box. And that way when we go outside, this stuff will all be together. Man, you get really used to wearing readers. All of a sudden it's like everything's blurry. Yeah, that El Camino, is, you know, don't need to do much to it. Just like that Seville, don't need to do much to that either. Alright, I need to go to a little boy's room. And we'll be right back. And probably the order these will be done in will be come up with a name, build it around the name. I mean, obviously, you know, pick what it is, come up with a name for it, build it around the name, design it, you know. But I want to get those all clear coated or primed so we can go bam, 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 roll right into them one after the other like we've done this week. And we've been able to do this many this week because they were all ready to go. They were already clear coated, they were already primed. Could just tear through them. It's stupid to fire up the airbrush to do one thing, you know.
All right, super reader time. Whitey. Oh, Whitey then. All right. This is going to get, all the mesh here is going to get the 10 bits treatment. Okay? And this as well. That's going to get the 10 bits treatment. This is not. This is relatively new construction. It hasn't been like corroded. Well, this is also new construction, but it's all corroded iron and shit like that. So let's get 10 bits out here. I gotta just give up calling it rough iron. It's gonna be 10 bits. That's what the old Games Workshop one used to be called. When I had it, it was that old bottle. I should have kept one of them so I can point out, hey, these things used to suck. Not the first ones. The original ones were great. Like the second version of them. Terrible. I'm just gonna paint on here. That's what I feel like doing. And the wife is not coming back until Saturday morning, so we should have another good painting session tomorrow. Not that, I can't do this while she's here. Okay. Yeah, it's probably good. Hit this at a little bit of an angle so it doesn't go all the way through, and paint something that we'll have to correct. I was talking to somebody about country music, which is not the kind of I don't listen to country music. I also don't listen to rap. And it kind of dawned on me. And I also don't listen to lyrics. Like, I don't care about lyrics. I don't hear well, and I don't make out what people are saying to begin with. But I think, I'm going to generalize here, if you took the lyrics out of rap and you took the lyrics out of country, I think I would prefer rap. And by rap, I mean whatever the hell they call it now. Hip hop. It's not rap, it's hip hop. Well, to me, it's rap still. And the reason why is because I was looking, and one of the things that I want to do, and I don't know if I'm going to get around to doing it anytime soon, when I have all of the cars, I'd like to put them on the turntable and do a video of like all of the cars for a team, right? And the teams are constantly growing, but I'd like to do that. So in the video editor, there's rappy type tunes that don't have any sounds, and they're kind of cool sounding if you're going to have these lowrider type vehicles with them, these blingy mobiles. But they don't have any spoken word in them. Blingy mobiles. What the bling? What in the bling-a-ding-ding? All right, this whole thing is going to get the treatment.
Well, whenever you get around to watching, feeling to be in a World War II mood, don't forget to watch Generation War. You know what? I am going to go ahead and do this on it. All right, let's rinse that out. And get the darkest of metal. Iron Warriors. Yeah, Generation War, does it have nudity? No. No. Your grandmother can watch it. Like, for instance, Cross of Iron had a rape scene, which they never showed on TBS when it was on. I never saw it as a kid. And it's, like, unnecessary. And, like, I wouldn't want to watch that with my grandmother. You know? I mean, I get it. I wouldn't, you know, my dad was, like, always into history. And when he was, like, older, he always had this thing about Marco Polo. I don't know why he was interested in Marco Polo. Like, but anyways, so they had that Marco Polo thing that was Netflix with that Chinese guy, the guy from that freaking Marvel thing, Doctor Strange, okay? And they had him play not Genghis Khan, the other Kublai Khan. In like a perfect freaking mix, except that his English is too perfect. But like he looks the role. But anyways, that's the one I'm talking about. And there's like I'm watching it with my dad, who's in his late 80s at that point, and there's like harem scenes that are too provocative to see with your 80-something-year-old dad. You know, like I wouldn't want to watch that with my daughter and stuff. Like I don't need that stuff in there. I mean, you know, it's like that's not what I'm there for. You know, your mother watches Outlander. There's so much grape in that show. It's crazy. Oh, rape? No, I think your grandmother likes World War II. I think she should try. It's from the German viewpoint. It doesn't. You know, it's an anti-war film, obviously, but it's not as anti-war as it's worth watching. It is excellent. It is really really excellent. What is she's? Well, I've never seen Outlander, so try it. It's good. There's five major characters, and they go in five different directions, and never know what's going to happen. You know, so I think you'll like it. And I can't watch it with my wife. So my wife she won't watch anything that is action or stressful at all. I'm lucky. My wife is awesome, but she's terrible about watching things. And I even told her that. Now it's not a big deal because I'm not a huge watcher person, right? Like I don't just sit there and watch movies over and over again and memorize lines and you know. But she's like, if it doesn't make her happy, so you know, like she does romantic comedy, or watch some sitcoms that are just, you know, that's fine as long as I don't hate the actors or actresses. I'm good, right? You know, I'm not watching Hallmark movie stuff.
You know, they always end well, you know. But, yeah, she can't watch, she would never watch Outlander. Why are you glad that she's not into it? Well, it just probably screws with history completely. That's the one with the Scotland guy, right? Like he goes back in time or something like that, or he comes forward in time or something. It's a we're gonna call it a girly show. That doesn't mean I wouldn't watch it. I mean, hell, I saw Versailles, and Versailles is definitely not. I am not the demographic that Versailles would appeal to. And Mitch saw it too, and we both really liked it. We didn't watch it together. We didn't hold hands or anything like that. Oh, look what we have here. Did we get it? It's a wooden thing. I was putting stuff in the attic the other day, and I'm like, I hope I didn't. Not on the attic, but on the shelves in there. It's all made of OSB. I'm like, man, this is like whatchamacallit Central, Splinter Central. You'd think it'd be a metallic one with all the metal here, but like my wife wouldn't watch like the Tudors or something like that. Like I'm all for watching shit like that, or you know, a couple of those that they had like the Spanish Princess. I haven't seen any of that stuff, but I would. And you know, then they're girly things. That's fine. You know, especially if they have people that are attractive in it. Versailles was good. And only one girl was cute, but it's really. I thought it was really good. I thought it was really good, and I'm not even into that period. Okay, that's good. So we got some underlayers of some color there. Outlander is so much great. I think the author is into that stuff. I take it you're trying to say the word without the G in it. Yeah, well, a lot of that happened through history, but there's no reason to like dwell on it. Like, you know. I told you I don't like watching scary movies because it's like too much butchering of people that are innocent. Like it's not just like this person got killed. Oh, it's like this person was like terrorized, tortured, and chopped into bits in really horrible ways and never found, and their only sin is that they look pretty. I'm like, I don't like that. I just, that doesn't settle well with me. That doesn't settle well with me. I don't like. That's just like the writers just couldn't get laid and they're taking it out on all the pretty girls. You know, it's like, I'm not into that. Yeah, just take the G. YouTube will delete your comment. Really? Okay, I didn't know that. It's not like you're promoting it. It's not like, you know. Could be, man. It's Hollyweird. You know, they're into weird stuff. You know? Not cool. Okay. Now, this vehicle, it's like a prison car. It's amazing how much heavier something is when the top and the bottom is metal. This is going to be attached to the front like so, and it's going to have a whitewash on it a little bit, so it doesn't stand out so much. We need to figure out what's going on in the front end. So let's find out exactly what this thing is. I believe it will remember that I did a search for 1960, and it will bring up other things. 1960 Ford. It's not coming up. Okay, so we're going to do... actually, I should just be able to use the code here. The code is number 16. Johnny Lightning 016.
Find out exactly what model vehicle this is. Well, that's not coming up. Here it is. 1960 Ford Ranch Wagon. Okay? So we're going to go 1960 Ford Ranch Wagon. Front. Okay? Yeah, I don't want to see that with a family member. You know? It's not necessary. So is that why they wear kilts? So they can start doing that easily? Just saying. I don't see any reason for a man to wear a dress. It's not a dress, it's a kilt. Whatever. Gives me the same vibes. What vibe are you getting? No, thank you. All right. The whole front of this is it trimmed in? It is. Okay, so the trim too. All of this will be black. Has great detail. They just decided not to paint it. Hold on one second. Let me switch the clothes. was a hang-upables. Almost the whole thing needed to be hung up. What part was pretty good? Gotta stay ahead of the clothes, man. The next thing you know, you spend all weekend doing fucking clothes. And it's actually not that much. It was just 2 loads worth. I can't rewear stuff that I go to work with. It just gets too. It gets too dusty. I'll call it dirty, but that's not really fair. What am I doing? This needs to be covered too, because it's got to be metallic. What am I doing? Okay, same thing here. See, I don't know if these are, free agents or rednecks or albinos, right? It's a whole carload full of albinos. But all whitey then. Okay, so we need to do 1960s ranch wagon rear. Okay, this is the rear. Oh boy, this thing has seen better days. Oh, whitey sounds like an albino. Yeah, they're like albino. I don't know. I'd say white supremacist, but I don't really want that in the. I mean, these are all bad people because they're criminals, but Okay, so this is the bumper. So the bumper part needs to be. So I guess that was a good evening. We're actually able to take care of the cars in here. And it's not because the garage is uncomfortable or anything. It's just that, we'd have to stop the feed, that kind of thing. Unless, I was just kind of doing it on my own. Albino supremacist. Everybody that's not an albino is, is there such a thing? Albino supremacist. Albino. I'm a human supremacist. Albino supremacist. Supremacist. Nope, it's an original thought. All right, you don't have to go there. Don't have too many of them. There's not that many albino people, or they're hidden. Um, Come on, it's been running kind of slow today. New chat in Gaslands. Okay. Show me a picture of a Gaslands team that is comprised of albinos. Did you not take that? I just don't want to type all that shit out. It's a pain in the ass. Oh, here we go. I'll hit send. Here's a visual direction you can use as inspiration for an albino themed gaslight. I'm not going to have the whole team. Did I say team? Oh, I did. Damn it! I don't want a whole team of it. Aesthetic. Chalky white skin, shade head, stark contrast war paint. Black or red. Okay. Show me a picture of some Gasland racers that are albinos. Oh, I guess this is from a movie. Is this the one with a ram? It could be the albino rhino. That's pretty good. You don't like that name? I don't know. I think it's, anyhow. Doesn't have to be. It doesn't have to be albinos. Just next thing you know, you'd have to have midgets. You'd have to have paraplegic team. It could get all the way. Get it. Some guy. It's like who's the guy that guy in the wheelchair, Hawking. I'm gonna kick your ass, or whatever. Your roadkill. Okay, so that's gonna get the treatment on that. These parts need to dry, but I think we're gonna need an overwash of something of some white on it, and same thing with this wing. So let's get this folk art. What the folk? The folk art one. I don't have a Viejo one worth a damn. A team for the blind. You remember that story I told you? I was at lunch one time many years ago. It's probably 15 years ago. I was at lunch we don't go to lunch anymore with people, but we went to this grocery store chain that's basically a monopoly, and they had this area where you could like order a sandwich, whether it was hot or whatever. Anyways, we're having lunch, and this car pulled in the parking garage, or this van pulled in the parking garage, and on the headliner, so written in backwards, like an ambulance, it said "blind man driving," and it was the business vehicle called the Blind Man. They made blinds and stuff like that. But I thought that was brilliant. Till somebody got offended. But you know what? It wouldn't be a blind person because they can't fucking see it. Lighten up, Francis. Okay. Yeah, you need a Hans Hoff could be blind. Nobody would know, right? Hans Hoff could be a blind guy.
That was a good name, man. I love shit like that. Like it works. It was like brilliant. It was called The Blind Man. You know, on the side of the van, it was like the blind. We couldn't see it, so on the headline, it was like "Blind Man Driving." You're like, what the fuck? I mean, like holy shit. Let me get out of the way, right? It was The Blind Man. I like punny stuff like that. When they come up with businesses. There's another one that looks just like a sheriff's vehicle. It even has like a star type badge or whatever. And it's a lawn service called the Lawn Enforcement Agency. And it looked like, hey, that's pretty cool. I like stuff like that. Put some thought into it, kind of thing. You know? Blind man driving. That's still going to have drippings on here, but unfortunately with this dry brushing, it accentuates any kind of like 3D printing lines that it has. It's like this doesn't look like it has any lines until I do this, and then they really stand out. By that I mean, dry brushing. Now, if I hadn't done this before, I'd be like, man, this isn't going to turn out well. That's kind of the vibe I'm getting right now, right? Like, it looks kind of sloppy. Oh, what's that way that people have of paintings? I think it's called slop choppy or something like that. They just throw shit on there. Much better than just leaving it metal colored. Slop chop, yeah. Slap chop. It's okay as long as you clean it up. I mean, this looks messy, but we're going to clean it up. Okay? That looks much better than in the natural metal finish. I'm not pulling an all-nighter. I gotta go to work. I'll be done after I do this. So I'll get off so you don't miss anything. No, I'm not gonna do an all-nighter. I'm too old. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. I remember the most memorable time I pulled an all-nighter is there was a friend of mine who had come up with these rules for sailing ships, like ship of the line game. And it's like, yeah, everybody show up and bring a whatever gun ship of the line and we're going to play. So he designed these rules. So I waited till the last fucking minute. And as I knew we were going to play on Sunday morning. So on Saturday night, I stayed up all night working on this thing. I probably got 3 hours of sleep or 2 or something like that. I was in my mid-20s, so I could do something like that and not suffer permanent damage. But I remember doing the rigging on this damn ship, and it's around here somewhere. There's a GHQ, one of those 1/1200 scale, 74 gun ship of the line, and the rigging turned out, but I mean, I just came up with, like, there were so many issues that came up. I ended up, like, making up, like, new curse words. It was just, like, so
So much of the experience was not pleasurable, and because I waited till the last minute, and I go on and play the game, and I absolutely hate the fucking game. Yeah, so this is starting to look like this. This is kind of what we're aiming for, with the white tires. And the rockets, I got to be careful. I don't want to make the rockets red. If I make the rockets red, it's going to look like an ambulance. Okay? It's going to be something red here on the roof. Automatically go, oh, the ambulance. It's not an ambulance. It's not an ambulance. So, all right, that's what we're gonna call it. So thanks for, how long was this one? This is a long one, wasn't it? Oh yeah, 3 hours. 3 hours on a work night. Thanks for coming by, folks. As always, greatly appreciated. And we'll catch you tomorrow morning. I'll do some of it tomorrow morning. Maybe do the lights and stuff like that, and that way we can get done with this guy.